This meeting is being held with a quorum of City of Westlake Education and Youth Advisory Board members physically in attendance. At Westlake Council Chambers, 4005 Seminole Pratt Whitney Road. Board members Julie Acevedo, Jennifer Bermudez, Wesley Loxton, and Robin Medvets are present physically. Lisa Liriano noted that she would not be present. Student Representative Thomas Karbowski is absent. Board Liaison Councilwoman Katrina Long Robinson is attending via electronic media technology. Please allow me to confirm attendees that will be present virtually. Councilwoman Long Robinson, are you able to hear us?
I am.
Thank you. Ms. Leffler, are you able to hear us? Thank you. Public comments may be accepted at least 24 hours prior to the meeting utilizing the electronic comment card available on the city's website. Public comments are also permitted at the appropriate time during the meeting. The chair will call for such during public comment, and you may participate at this time utilizing the system's virtual hand feature and waiting to be acknowledged if you wish to comment. Please note this meeting is being recorded, both voice and video, and to remember your mic may be live. I will mute any microphones that carry any feedback or interruptions. However, you can unmute yourself. Any person in the virtual audience causing a disruption or being inappropriate will be removed from the meeting. If I may also remind those physically in attendance, please utilize microphones so that the virtual audience and a clear recording of the meeting is produced. Thank you, Board Chair.
I'm sorry, want me to go right back to the beginning or?
Call to order.
Oh, good. Good evening to the meeting of the Education and Youth Advisory Board. Today, September 23rd, 2021. I would like to call the meeting to order at 6:33 p.m.
Board Member Julie Acevedo.
Present.
Board Member Lisa Liriano, absent. Chair Jennifer Bermudez.
Present.
Vice Chair Robin Medvets.
Present.
Board Member Wesley Loxton.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next order of business, we have the approval of the agenda. Does the board have any additions or deletions of the agenda? If none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as it is presented?
I have a motion to approve. Actually, I'm sorry. We need to make a change to the agenda. We need to remove the student member update, as well as if we can move Councilwoman Long Robinson to first in the presentations for a prior engagement. Do you accept those changes? If you'll make a motion, restate your motion.
Motion to approve the changes? Motion.
Motion made by Julia Acevedo, seconded by Board Member Loxton. Motion carries.
Please call the roll.
I apologize. Board Member Julia Acevedo.
Present.
Approved.
Oh,
Yes.
approved.
Yes. Chair Jennifer Bermudez.
Approve.
Vice Chair Robin Medved. Board Member Loxton.
Approved.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
So the next order of business is public comments. The board will entertain any comments from the public. This section of the agenda allows for comments from the public to address the board. Each speaker will be given a total of 3 minutes to comment. Please address the board from the podium. And prior to addressing the board, state your name and address for the record. City Clerk, have we received any previous comment cards?
Chair, we received no previous comment cards. However, we'll give the virtual audience a moment to raise their virtual hand. If you wish to make a comment, please raise your virtual hand, state your name and address. You have 3 minutes. Chair, I see no comments.
There are no minutes to approve at this meeting. So moving to the next order of minutes, we have several presentations. We do ask that you please limit your presentations to 10 minutes. And up first, we're going to have Ms. Councilwoman.
Yes. Councilwoman Robinson?
Yes, thank you. And thank you to the board for allowing me an opportunity to present first. This is Councilwoman Katrina Long Robinson, Education Advisory Board Liaison. And I just wanted to kind of give a brief update of where we are as it relates to creating a pipeline for education and local government. There have been some updates, some exciting updates since the Education Advisory Board last met. As many of you know, because you are residents of Westlake, Winn-Dixie will be redesigning and rebranding their building. And this is through Southeastern Grocers, LLC. And what they have agreed to doing is creating a partnership, a pipeline really for education and local government. The reason for this is we had to kind of ask serious questions as policymakers. What does education look like moving forward? And so as each of you have witnessed, because each of you are educators, we've witnessed the past few years employers having staffing issues across all sectors, especially when it relates to our skilled workforce. Therefore, we found it necessary to try and do everything we could as municipality to create partnerships with our high school, Seminole Ridge, which has a full construction academy. And the manager and I had a productive meeting with the principal, Dr. Campbell, and he opened our eyes to a couple other things that they have, the robust program that they have at Seminole Ridge that they are working to ensure that they equip students to be able to live a sustainable life, if you would. So what we were able to do is create this partnership, move forward with this partnership. And so now we have identified one of our very own constituents in Westlake who is going to be a liaison who will be able to communicate between our various entities within the city as well as the school. Miss Anita Kaplan, who is recently retired from Palm Beach State College, was the dean of the bachelor's program there. And so we're excited. This will be a volunteerism opportunity for her, but she will be able to sit down, talk with the magnet coordinator at Seminole Ridge, talk to Dr. Campbell, be able to have that relationship with our city manager, Mr. Castle, so that we can make sure this is a robust, long-living program. And so I'm hoping, I wanted to kind of give that and give that to you because I'm hoping when the board discusses and identifies actionable items for your strategic plan, that this will be one of the long-term goals that will be an initiative to be included in your action planning as you move forward with the board and as the city, because we know there's a build out as the city moves forward to ensure that municipality and education are going hand in hand. And so I do appreciate you and thank you for allowing an opportunity for me to kind of give you that update this evening.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, so up next we have Dr. James Campbell.
Dr. Campbell, just give me a moment. I'll give you presenter capability. You should be able now to use the space bar.
presentation left the screen. Now just see the gallery view. It's on there.
I'll move it for you though.
Okay, good evening. As was stated earlier, I'm James Campbell, principal at Seminole Ridge Community High School. Really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you this evening about our school and share what we offer to the community and look to improve on the partnership that's building over the last several years. Just a little bit about me. This is my 11th year as a principal at Seminole Ridge. I also spent 2 years as principal at Acres Pines, close to our area here, and 2 years as principal at Eagles Landing Middle School down in Boca. But I was one of the founding assistant principals the first 2 years the school was open. So this is our 15th year as a school, and I've been there all but 4 of the years. So I've got a long history with Seminole Ridge, and definitely near and dear to our heart. Everything that we do at Seminole Ridge starts with our mission and vision that you see on the screen there. Our mission is to engage all students in a superior education through which they may achieve their highest potential. Our plan to do that, to fulfill that mission, is to acknowledge that learning is everyone's responsibility, to create a respectful learning environment, to collaborate on decisions through open communication. Hopefully that will now include the advisory board here. Promote citizenship, literacy, and positive behavior, to emphasize the importance of graduating on time, provide the instructional rigor needed for post-secondary success, and to awaken the desire for lifelong learning. Just some general information about the school. Should change there in a second. We opened in August 2005. That first year we had grades 9 through 11. They did not make seniors transfer for the last year, so we only had 9 through 11. It had about 1,700 students the first year. Our mascot is the Hawks. Our colors are red and silver. We are now considered, the district is broken up into 4 regions. We're considered the North region. And for district-wise, we're in District 6, and our board member, Marcia Andrews, is here, and glad to show it's kind of appropriate that she's here this evening, because whenever we have something, she's always out to support us, and we really appreciate her continued support. We are, strangely enough, in the North area. Years ago, we were in the West, and 1 year we got moved from North to West. The next year, Westlake opened up, so we went from Loxahatchee to Westlake. So somehow the building that's several acres got moved somehow in 2 consecutive years. So we're now North and Westlake. We're glad to be here. School hours, if you're ever in the area for traffic, you know these already, unfortunately, but school hours are 7:30 to 2:46. We're on a block schedule, which means that our classes meet every other day. And they meet for basically 2 class periods at a time. So our normal class period is 100 minutes for us. And you see there, day 1 means that students would go to periods 1, 3, 5, and 7 on day 1. And on day 2, they go to 2, 4, 5, and 6. That 5th period is our constant period. It's a shorter period because that one does meet every day. Just a little bit about our demographics. Our enrollment, as of Monday, we're at 2206. Our 9th grade, we have 574 students, 10th grade, 572, 561 in 11th, and 499 in 12th. As you see, we're growing through as the grade levels go lower. When I returned to the school about 11 years ago, we were over 2,500. And then as the recession occurred and we were recovering in the area, our numbers certainly dropped down into the 2,100s in the last couple of years, but the 2,200 that we're at is a sign of growth, and we are projected to continue growing slowly. Obviously, with the community of Westlake coming around. Our free and reduced lunch percentage is 50%. That is actually the highest that it's ever been in the school history. School open, we were in the mid-30s, and that's continually grown, and we're seeing the changes in the community. And 50% is as high as this area has ever seen. Our demographic breakdown, we have 3% Asian students, 13% Black, 32% Hispanic, a little less than 1% Indian, 4% other, and 48% white. We also have 3% of our students who are considered English language learners. That has also been growing over the last several years. We're seeing an increase in ESOL learners coming to the school. And our students with disabilities or our ESE students make up 17% of our student body. Our staff demographics, we currently have a full-time staff of 203 employees. So the one principal, we have 4 assistant principals now. We have 141 teachers, 10 clerical staff, 20 non-instructional staff, 14 custodial staff, currently 11 food service staff. We are still hiring more. That's been an area that's been difficult to staff in the entire district this year. We have a few openings. We are fortunate that they are in the process of being hired now, just waiting for the final approval. And we have 2 school police officers assigned to us. Just a breakdown on our teachers' experience, 11 teachers are in their first 3 years of teaching. We have another 17 who have between 4 and 7 years of experience, and over 7 years, we have 113 teachers. You can see a fairly veteran staff and many long-timers on that staff. I want to talk about our programs because really I feel that the strength of Seminole Ridge is the programs and really the variety of programs that we offer to our students. We really like to preach the idea that we have something to meet every student's needs, not just from an academic standpoint, but also from an extracurricular standpoint. From academics, we have 7 academies overall. Academies are classified 2 different ways about a district. We have in-house academies, we have 3 of those, and the others are choice academies. I'll explain a little bit about them more as we go on. Our in-house academies are only open to those students who are zoned in our area. They would be coming here to Seminole Ridge regardless, but they are able to apply to the academies that we have. The choice programs that we have are open to anyone in the district. So we have students coming from the Glades, we have them coming from Royal Palm, even the Palm Beach Gardens area, but outside of our boundaries. The number of students that we bring in from out of boundaries changes every year based on what our projected enrollment is. Currently, we have, I believe, 120 choice students, so they're coming from out of our boundaries. Our in-house academies are the automotive service technology. We're thrilled that that program has been certified by NATEF, which is a national organization that deals with automotive service technicians. Our students, the goal for those students in the automotive program is to receive their ASE certifications. And anybody who's been to a repair shop has seen the sign of ASE, so you know the power that that brings to our students to be able to walk into a building to show, I already have my ASE certification in transmission maintenance or in brake maintenance or any of the areas of automotive. We also offer an information technology program that focuses on computer science. We have recently partnered with the Amazon Future Engineers program to add to that curriculum. There, they can receive a variety of industry certifications. You have the MOS bundle, which basically means Microsoft Office, so our students can get certified in Microsoft Office programs. And then there are Microsoft technician programs. We have networking, Windows, security, and HTML. And we also offer certifications in the programming languages of Python and Java. And then our third in-house academy is the Accelerator program. And really the Accelerator program is our program to make sure our students are on a college prep track. And in 8th grade, they know that they're certain they want to go to college and they want to be put in the best position to do so. We try to get them into the Accelerator program because the goal of that program is for them to earn an ACE diploma. Talk a little bit more about the ACE diploma as we go on, but the ACE diploma, mainly the biggest part of that is that when they earn that diploma, they qualify for the Bright Future Scholarship. If you're a parent in Florida, you know the Bright Future Scholarship is a huge deal because it will fully fund your college tuition. Our choice academies, these are ones that are open to anyone in the district. The Army JROTC was just recently transitioned into a choice academy. They really focus on leadership and education. Yes, they are affiliated with the Army, but their focus is on citizenship, on leadership training, and overall just developing good students. We have our biotech program, which is a very, very lab-based hands-on curriculum. From 9th grade on, our students spend the majority of their time working on labs. They do a lot of focus on mainly DNA and proteins, and just recently we've added some more curriculum on food science so that they can earn certifications in that as well. Our construction that was mentioned earlier, our construction is focused on all aspects of residential construction. I'll touch on them a little bit more later. And then we also have a television production program that they focus on training students in broadcast journalism and filmmaking. You know, in addition to just putting out a daily newscast. They also teach the students how to make many public service announcement commercials. They do film trailers. They really focus on the whole idea of filmmaking. Some accomplishments from these academies, and another reason I kind of want to brag on them a little bit, our automotive academy, last year, 100% of the seniors were able to earn a certification in ASE. That's a huge deal for them because, again, they're walking out of high school with something that they can literally walk into a repair shop and say, here's my certification in this area, and it gives them a leg up on other applicants. The information technology program, a big part of what they do is called the Digital Inclusion Project, where they take old computers, refurbish them, and then they give them out to needy families. The exhibitor program, I talked about the ACE diploma a minute ago. We were thrilled that last year, 95 students earned their ACE diploma in 2021. It was a record for our school, and board member Medvitz is a key member of that, and she teaches in the ACE program and was responsible for the success of many of those students. But that's a big deal because that means 95 students are walking out of high school already with that Bright Future Scholarship in hand, which is huge for them. The Army JROTC program in 2020 was named the Program of the Year in Palm Beach County. Our biotech program was named the Silver Award winner for the Career and Technical Education for the district. Our construction program, the focus for the last 10 years has been on building homes for Habitat for Humanity. We have a partnership with Habitat where they provide all of the material, and our students build a 1,200 square foot home in the building here right across the street that then gets taken, and we build it into four different sections. Those sections move out of the building. Once it's all completed, get put on a train, and they are trucked to wherever location is. We have, so far, of the 8 homes that we have built, we have put homes in Belglade, Jupiter, and Lake Worth. Put them in areas, ultimately, in the West Palm Beach area. Ultimately, Habitat for Humanity decides where the homes are going. We just do the building, and our students will build an entire home in 1 year's time. Everything is in that home, all the way up to the drywall and the paint inside on the drywall before it leaves our building. And then our TV production is a program that they compete often on a national level in many areas, and they turn out some really quality students. Last year, one of our students earned the Burt Reynolds Scholarship from the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission. Just to show you off the variety of things we offer here, I won't read this list off to you, but really we have a club for just about anything that students want to be involved in. You know, whether it's animation, it's we've ever heard of a chess club before. We're very involved in the dance marathon, which raises money for Shands Hospital in Gainesville. We have any club that you're interested in, we think we offer it for you. We also have a variety we offer every athletic program that's available in the district. Have a JV football game going on across the street there now, and we'll have athletics throughout the year. Just some other accomplishments of the school. Our chorus is a strong program. Every year since our inception, they have been selected to attend the candlelight procession at Walt Disney World, actually on Epcot's park. They participate in different events such as the PBC Men's Day, the District Honor Choir, the University of North Florida, Jacksonville Sings, and the Stetson University Choral Festival. So they typically, other than the last 2 years, have done a lot of traveling and really showcase their talents throughout the state. Our Student Government Association is really the main focus of what goes on in class. They really are a big push on what happens on campus. They really are focused on student involvement. Last year, they set their own personal record by earning 9 trophies at the district competition. So they've just been improving every year. Now, we talked about athletics. Last year, we had 2 district champions. We had flag football won the district championship and ultimately made it all the way to the state finals. And then softball also won their championship. And then we had 1 student who earned an individual state championship last year in weightlifting. Are there any questions? Okay, I appreciate this opportunity to present to you, and let us know if there's anything we can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so up next, we have Career Source, Palm Beach County. We have a presentation by Charles Duvall, the Associate Vice President.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all very much for allowing me the opportunity to present to you tonight to discuss Career Source Palm Beach County and some of the services we offer. My name is Charles Duvall. I'm the Associate Vice President for Business Services at Career Source Palm Beach County. And I hope tonight you get out of this a little bit more knowledge than what you had going in about what we do and the services that we're able to offer. So if you've never heard of us before, Career Source Palm Beach County is one of 24 local workforce boards here in the state of Florida. And our mission is to connect business with talent. And so basically what that means is we help people find employment. And to accomplish this, we serve two sets of customers. On the one hand, we have services for job seekers to get them ready to enter or re-enter the world of work. And on the other hand, we have employers or businesses who are looking to hire. And they come through Career Source. Over the past 18 months, employment in Palm Beach County has looked a lot different. Before the pandemic hit, Palm Beach County was at almost full employment with an unemployment rate of about 3%. At the height of the pandemic, our unemployment rate peaked as much as 14%. Now, though, since things have started to return back to normal, our unemployment rate has dropped all the way down to about 4.7. So we're approaching full employment again. And for the first time, we actually have more jobs available than we have unemployed people to fill them. Mm-hmm. So we're in a unique, interesting position, but it's our hope that Career Source can play a role in helping to get people back to work. So we are the bridge between job seekers and employers, as I've said. Working with career seekers, we have available to them career counselors who are able to work one-on-one with individuals looking to enter the world of work or re-enter the world of work. We have about a staff of 130 people located in two offices, our main office in West Palm Beach next to Palm Beach International Airport, and our second office in Belle Glade, which I spent a lot of time, the majority of my career in, which is where I've gotten to know our school board member, Marcia Andrews. So we've also, though, expanded our footprint because we've realized that because of the urgent needs of unemployment, we've needed to do more. So to accomplish that, we've actually been embedded in several libraries around the county, as well as campuses of Palm Beach State College. Our career centers are staffed with resources to help people find work. As I mentioned, our career consultants work with people to help with fine-tuning your resume, to help you get back to work, offering sessions to help coach with interviewing skills, job search assistance. We also have available the infrastructure to help job seekers find work. We make available free computers, phones, other equipment to help with finding jobs. Our computers are available, our internet, faxes, everything. At our facility, we also have on-site hiring events where we have employers in our offices who are hiring on the spot that day. And because of the needs of the last 18 months, we've actually had to pivot to now start offering virtual job fairs also. And our virtual job fairs can be anything from industry specific, like manufacturing or healthcare, to hospitality, travel and tourism. Over the past 18 months when things were shut down, as things started to open up, we started doing more job fairs in that particular arena and working directly with the hospitality industry, for example. We've also held job fairs specifically for employers in the construction field as well, to try to help people get employed in those areas. I mentioned that we work with job seekers who are finding work, but the other side of that coin is also working with employers looking to hire. So part of what we do is working with employers to post their jobs. Our team of career consultants personally recruits for specific positions, depending on what the employer wants. We recruit to certain specifications, and we post their jobs on employflorida.com. Employflorida.com is the website that we utilize to not only post a job, but it's also where job seekers can go to upload resumes and As a job seeker, your resume can get discovered by employers on employerportal.com. That's really the main website that we use to do our services. We also look to help businesses hire, train, and retain talent. So in addition to the hiring services, we offer assistance with training in the way of grants and scholarships available as well. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute also. Employer Portal helps with finding job openings. We can create professional resumes out of this website. This is the tool that we use to match individuals. Now, we also have what we call a virtual career system, which takes all of our services that we offer in our brick and mortar centers and puts them online to where they're available 24/7. This way, if people cannot make it to one of our centers, or if they can't make it to one of our consultants at the library or on a local college campus at Palm Beach State College, we're available 24/7 online as well. And this offers us a chance to provide labor market information to individuals who are looking to change career. Maybe you want to know, if you're thinking about a certain career, what the job outlook is like. Maybe you want to know what the average salary is like. Well, these resources help you make those decisions. Additionally, with Employer Portal, outside of the website, we offer several programs for certain affinity groups as well. We have programs that cater to young adults. We call it our Youth and Young Adult Program, where we work with a lot of out-of-school youth who are facing certain barriers to employment. We put them through a 5-week career boot camp where we introduce students to the world of work. A lot of students, this was their first time with having a real work experience, because part of the experience that we offer them is a defined set internship as well with local employers that we work with as well. Our Young Adult Program has been very successful all over the county. We offer it in Belgrade and West Palm Beach as well. We typically have a cohort of about 50 kids between the two centers, and they go through a class. We offer this program during the summer, but we also offer it year-round too, with the ultimate goal of helping students enroll either in post-secondary education, or maybe they go straight into the workforce as well. So we really try to work with the individual, with the student, to figure out and define what the next step is in their career path. Our Young Adult Program, before the COVID pandemic, we actually offered instruction in hospitality. We partnered with Palm Beach State to get them hospitality certifications. And we also offer leadership training through the Dale Carnegie program. So it's a really robust program that, for a lot of individuals, introduces these concepts for the first time. Microsoft training. The Microsoft training was offered as a reaction to the demand from our local employers. They came and said, our students need to know these skills. We're hiring young people, but they don't know Microsoft Word. They don't know PowerPoint. And so this was born to help solve that particular issue. And we work in our Young Adult Program with individuals ages 17 to 24. In addition to supporting our young adults, we also offer scholarships to individuals who are looking to go back to school. And this is not just young adults either. These can be older adults as well, people looking to return to the workforce. We have a scholarship program that covers a lot of different programs and degrees and certifications. We work with several providers around the county, including Palm Beach State College, Westlake out in Blades, Kaiser, Lynn. And we offer assistance in anything from manufacturing, construction, healthcare, education. It's a wide variety of resources that people can take advantage of. So with these individuals, we've been able to provide, on average, we give about $1 million in scholarships every year. When we look at the amount of placements we have in a typical year pre-COVID, we typically place about 12,000 individuals to work in a year. And even out in the Blades, we typically do about 12 to 1,400 pre-COVID. Now, during COVID, those numbers jumped up a little bit because of everything that was happening. But since the last 18 months, though, we've really seen an increase in demand from employers for talent. You all have heard that there may be a labor shortage out there. And that's something that we're actively working to that right now. When the economy tends to falter, demand goes up for training. And this is where Career Resource Palm Beach County has stepped in to work directly with a lot of the industry directly to provide assistance and training, to train the next generation of workforce to help fill some of those jobs. When we talk about the talent pipeline, Career Resource Palm Beach County is moving toward creating a talent pipeline to combat what we call the brain drain. What we don't want is to see our young adults grow up here, get educated in our schools, and then take their talents somewhere else. In order to keep our talent here, we have to be able to provide a pipeline that goes from school to the world of work. And so we're turning our attention to building programs that would speak to those individuals. We have in plans, we're planning to have a robust internship program countywide for young adults, where we're partnering with chambers of commerce and offering an internship database so that our students not only can learn here, but can train here too on internships. So we look forward to what this will do. And we've reached out to our partners at the school district, Palm Beach State College, the chambers, because as we've seen, this is going to take a community effort. My slides don't seem to be going anymore, but that's okay. I've previously given the rest of the presentation. I hope I'm doing well on time. But with that being said, if you all have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Yes.
I took a lot away from that, so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so our next presentation is by Ms. Marcia Andrews.
And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Marcia Andrews, school board member, District 6, standing right here at the Westlake Educational Youth Advisory Board. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. I bring you greetings from the rest of the school board, all 7 members, and special greetings from our superintendent, brand new superintendent Mike Burke. He wanted me to lay a message to you that he'd like to be a part of this educational advisory board, youth educational advisory board, and would love to get the link so that he can link in when you have your monthly meetings. He would like to come before you to share his vision as he moves the 10th largest school district in the United States of America, Palm Beach County School District. And tonight I have with me a member of the group, Ms. Diane Whitey. Come on up. We're going to be talking with you tonight about the internship program, which is a very important program helping to save our children. And we have a PowerPoint as well as we'll be here to add more information and the questions. But I'd like for Diane to tell you a little bit about her department, kinds of things that she does before we begin the presentation, the PowerPoint, to give you some highlights.
Thank you. My name is Diane White, and I'm the director of Safe Schools. And Safe Schools has multiple support services for our school district. We support our students, we support our staff members, we support our schools. Within Safe Schools, there are programs that support not only our students experiencing homelessness, which is Mckinney that we'll be talking about today, but we also have support services for our kids in foster care. Our teen parent program is within my department as well. In addition to that, we also oversee our classroom management training for our new teachers and support to struggling teachers, those with experience that also need support. In addition to that, within our department, we oversee the student code of conduct and help with discipline and the student matrix for discipline throughout the district. We also oversee the any student that has had a discipline concerns that could lead us to felony suspensions, expulsions, or severe incidents that are on campus. In addition to that, we also do drug assessments for district class. So our training involves training for staff, training for teachers. We oversee child abuse training as well, Title IX, and bullying support. So there's quite a bit under the umbrella in Safe Schools. We are taking on a new initiative that is coming from some of our ESSER funds to where we will be hiring within the next few weeks another 25 employees to Safe Schools to address the students that have left our district due to COVID, along with those that are having a crisis of attendance and truancy, in order to re-engage those students back with the district and back with their education. So a lot happens in Safe Schools, and I'd love to have opportunity to share more with, but today's focus is going to be on that support that we have for our students experiencing homelessness. That number, 2 years ago, prior to COVID, we were at about almost 4,000 students in the district that were considered homeless. We ended last year with close to 2,500 students. This year, I think we've already identified 1,400 students. Each year that identification is done over, it starts from scratch. So we start with that 0 and identifying them, and then we have those services. So one thing that we definitely would love the community to help us with is that identification part. Ms. Beth Letcher is here with us to take us through that process. She is our expert on the Mckinney-Vento program and all of the services that we have for it. So I'd love for her to be able to take away the slide presentation and give us that background.
Diana, I didn't hear that last part. I'm so sorry. Did you say something about my background?
Get started.
Hi, thank you guys for allowing me to be here tonight. I am Beth Leffler. I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about our McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Program and giving you some information, and hopefully a couple minutes at the end so you can ask questions. There's typically lots of questions about the work we do with our homeless children and youth. The McKinney-Vento program, it is named after the McKinney-Vento federal law, which protects is the chief federal protection for the educational rights of homeless children and youth. Why isn't my slide progressing?
You should be able to hit the space bar. You've been made presenter.
That is not working.
On the left-hand side, there should be some keys where you can progress through to the next page.
Okay, there we go. I am used to Google Meets, and this is totally different. Please bear with me. Okay, here's our agenda. We're going to talk about the law. We're going to talk about the definition of homelessness under McKinney-Vento law, the educational rights entitled to homeless children and youth, and the services and supports that the McKinney-Vento program provides to those youth. Okay, McKinney-Vento really revolves around 3 main themes: school stability, school access, and supports for academic success. And as I said earlier, McKinney-Vento Act is the chief piece of federal legislation that protects the educational rights of homeless children and youth. And we're going to talk about not only those rights, but what it is to be homeless under McKinney-Vento. What is that homelessness definition? And what it is children and youth who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. And those 3 words, fixed, regular, and adequate, are very important. Fixed, is it anchored? Is it permanently in place? Is it the same place that they can go every night on a regular basis? And is that place adequate? Is it adequate for physical, emotional, and psychological functioning? And oftentimes, these situations that our children and youth find themselves in that come to this definition are those living in shelters, emergency and transitional shelters here in Palm Beach County, motels, hotels, on the street, in cars, parks, abandoned buildings, substandard housing. We've seen a little bit of an uptick in our families in cars and other substandard housing. That has been on the rise probably for the last couple of years. Our motel families are also a little bit of an increase at this time of the year. The greatest majority of our homeless families in Palm Beach County are made up of families who are doubling up. They are sharing the housing of others due to an economic hardship, a loss of housing, an eviction, a foreclosure, or some similar reason that causes them to have to double up. Also included in this definition are unaccompanied homeless youth, which are homeless youth that are not in the physical custody of their parent or guardian, as well as migratory children that fall into one of those scenarios above. Okay, so what rights does McKinney-Vento provide? These are the big 4. And the first one, and the a quite critical one is immediate enrollment. What does that mean? Usually when you go to school and you take your kids to enroll, you have residency documents, you have your shot records, you have your birth certificates, everything all lined up, ready to give the registrar, data processor, front lady in the office. Oftentimes our homeless families don't have those documents. When you move from place to place to place, it's really easy to lose those things. It's really a chaotic environment, and oftentimes they don't have those documents, but we don't want them out of school. We want them in school. That is the safest place for them. So they are given a waiver of 30 days to get those immunizations or that school physical or that shot record. And our department also helps them get those things so that they can be properly enrolled in school and they're immediately enrolled. The other one, school stability and school selection. What that refers to is homeless children and youth have the choice of going to one of two schools, either the school of origin, which is the school that they were attending before all of the chaos and homelessness began, or the last school they attended, or where they're currently residing. So they can go to the school they've always been going to, or they can go to the school where they're currently living. Like if they're now doubled up with their aunt in Palm Springs, but they were going to Southgrade Elementary, we'll put transportation in place so they can stay at Southgrade Elementary. We don't want them moving around from school to school to school. We know those moves result in them losing academic achievement and academic progress. Okay, and free school meals. Children and youth, homeless children and youth are a federal categorical eligibility area. Their parents don't even have to fill out the forms. Once we identify them and we speak to school food services, they are immediately checked off for free school meals, either the day they're identified or the very next day. Transportation, again, that's giving them transportation to the school of origin should their parents request it. Some do, some don't. Every once in a while, they want to go to the attendance zone school because they know that they want their child to establish relationships where they're actually living. They might be there for a little bit longer amount of time. Okay, and this goes back to the definition of school of origin, their immediate enrollment with or without documentation. We provide assistance, again, with those birth certificates, shot records, things like that, and they get the free school meals. So we've talked about immediate enrollment, we've talked about school transportation, school of origin, the law. What are some other responsibilities that we have as the McKinney-Vento program? The biggest one is identification and awareness raising. And how do we identify these kids in Palm Beach County? The biggest mechanism is our student housing questionnaire. It's a one-page form. If any of you have school-age children, you might have seen the form. It's been in use several years now. It goes home with each and every student throughout our district at the beginning of the year. And then those come back, the school processes them to us. And then once we have processed them on our end, we reach out and make contact with the parent. What do we also do? We put up educational rights posters in every school throughout the county. They are conspicuously located in the main office and the enrollment areas of the schools so that they're highly visible for parents when they visit. We want them to know about this information. We talk to community groups. We talk to our community partners. We talk to all of our schools, provide training, technical assistance, professional development, and we collaborate with numerous community agencies to also get the word out. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that. I know that little form on the right, that is our student housing questionnaire. I know it is minute. It's a simple form, just one page. Basically, they check off their housing situation, they put the names of their kids and their date of birth, and down at the very bottom, I don't think you can see it, but there's a whole bunch of little check boxes. And it says, I need assistance with things like medical services, dental services, I need food, I need counseling, I need, what's another one? Uniforms, school supplies, backpacks, there's an other. So all the kind of things that we can help with. So they fill that out, check it off, send it over to us, and then we get in touch with the parent on our end. And we also have an electronic version of this form, and as well as the paper one that's also available in 4 languages, English, Spanish, Haitian Creole, and Portuguese. And let's see what our next slide has to say. And the role of MPP, what we actually do is, again, we provide lots of professional development and training. We make sure the kids get their school supplies, backpacks, uniforms to meet school dress code requirements. Oftentimes, our kids don't attend school not because they don't want to attend or their parents don't want them to attend, but they don't have the school clothes necessary to go to school and they're embarrassed. We find that frequently. That happens more often than anyone would think. So we give them uniforms and school supplies and backpacks and those tangible items that they need to go to school every day. We provide technical support to the schools, case management services to the families, the children, youth, unaccompanied youth in high school. And what else do we have on here? We confirm eligibility when we get the forms. Again, we have several community partners where we can help get their needs met for a variety of different issues. It's all individual need-based assessment, so each family is treated as a unique unit. We contact parents regarding attendance concerns. Sometimes it's something simple. They need uniform. Sometimes they need transportation to get back and forth to school. They want to attend their school of origin. They just didn't know how to make it happen. We put that in place. What else? Let's see here. There we go. We send monthly alerts to our schools about identified students. Not that they don't know about these students already because they've sent us the forms, but so that they have a list that is handy right in front of them, that they can make in-house referrals to the school-based team. School-based team is a problem-solving team of educational professionals that comes together to look at the whole functioning of the student. And then educational supports and interventions are put in place to help them succeed as well as they can academically. And then we provide enhanced case management support to our 11th and 12th grade unaccompanied homeless youth. And again, these are the kids, when we talk about the 11th and 12th grade, the high school unaccompanied youth who have been thrown out from home, they've left home due to abuse or neglect, there was something else going on in the home. Oftentimes, some of them, have come out as being gay, LGBTQ, they were told to leave. Frequently, when they turn 18, we have lots of kids who are thrown out from their homes and they have nowhere to go. We hook them up with independent living options for unaccompanied homeless youth. For our homeless families, we provide housing service information. We are not a direct line to housing, but we educate them on how they best navigate the system in Palm Beach County. We put them in connect with the people who can help them. And if need be, we help them navigate the service, apply whatever they might need from us. Let's see. And then I think I'm under my time. This is the contact information for myself, our academic support specialist, our main office contact, and the gentleman who also provides all of our transportation submissions. Renell Williams Desrosier works with the Western communities and the Glades. And I know Seminole Ridge is now, I guess, in the north area, but geographically, Vernell covers the Western community and the Glades, so she would cover everyone in Westlake and the surrounding area. And Jessica Shepard is our designated UHY case manager who works very hard with our 11th and 12th grade unaccompanied homeless youth. So we do a variety of things to support our families and youth. There are 9 case managers total, 7 general and 2 specific, 1 transportation in our main office, and then Jessica with the UHY. So we're not a giant team, but we do cover all of the schools in the district, including charters. And let's see, I pulled our numbers today, and we are up to 2,038 as of today, which is a little off from the same time last year. But our student housing questionnaires were disseminated about a month ago for district-wide dissemination, going home with all of the kids. And those are just starting to come back now. So we anticipate that number will rise, pretty dramatically in the next month or so. And as Diane mentioned earlier, it does grow throughout the end of the year. And that's it. That's McKinney-Vento in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions?
I do have a question. And this is more for just a community. I just want to make sure it's on record, but when parents approach a school or have concerns, I don't really know who to talk to. Who is the point of contact? Is that typically the school counselor or is it someone else?
That's typically, it would be what we call the McKinney-Vento contact, who is typically the single point of contact for that school. But at some of our larger schools where there's multiple guidance counselors, there's multiple APs, there's things like that, they can also They can check in with guidance. They'll know who the McKinney-Vento contact is. They'll know how to get in touch with us. And they can fill out our form online. They can send it to us. They can call our general number, and we'll, get them in touch with the right people. We'll hook them up with one of our case managers. It might be, and sometimes it might just be easier to call our office and then take it from there. But your guidance counselors are always a good bet. I would say probably 90% of them are our McKinney-Vento contact on the campus. But for the middle schools and high schools, there are several of that position. So they might have one, they might approach a guidance counselor who isn't the contact, but she knows them or he knows them. So they'll make it to us eventually, but it might be easier again for them to call us, or they can also email us at mvphomeless@palmbeachschools.org. They can call our main number. Both numbers are on there. They can call me directly. We will do whatever we can to get them what they need.
Thank you so much.
I have a question also. I'm Julia Acevedo. Hi. So I was wondering, you talked about the indicator and the form that families fill out to just indicate their situation. So the family is already indicated as homeless 1 year. Would they have to requalify, for lack of a better term? Would they have to use that indicator once again?
Yes, we send the form home on a yearly basis, but there is no time limit on homelessness. So they can be homeless this year. They could conceivably, let's hope not, be homeless next school year. We typically, with the families that we're working with, we will try to reach out to them in late summer before the new year begins to see if they're still in a homeless situation, if they still need those extra supports and things, so that we can start off the year with them on our list so that we don't overlook them. But we do ask every family to send in a new form every year. And they can do it electronically, or they can fill in the paper form. They can give us a call. We can fill it out for them over the phone. We typically ask some eligibility questions each time just to make sure that everything is as it should be. But yes, they would need to be verified every year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just like to add a couple of things. It's just so important for the school district of Palm Beach County, our school board, our superintendent, to really work hard to make sure that we take care of our homeless children. We try to make sure that there are no obstacles in the way for the children and their families. No worry about the grades, about just keeping them, feeling like they are supported, and the connection is going to be there to help them get to school, be in school, and as you heard tonight from Beth, to take care of all of their needs. And it's truly really important that we keep that emotional and social and positive atmosphere and spirit with the children that are homeless. They come at every age, and the families are so in need, and our counselors, our staff, we are equipped to take good care of them so that they will not have a worry and their success would not be interrupted. So that's the vision of the school district of Palm Beach County, and the McKinney-Vento program is an excellent program, and we've been doing a great job in making sure that the children and families know that we're there for them 24/7. Whenever they call us, we will find them and take care of them.
Okay, I'm so glad that Ms. Leffler brought in the numbers. When I was talking to you at the beginning, I told you we had about 1,300. I went back as she was talking, pulled up on my phone and see, in the last 3 weeks, we've added almost 300 a week in identification. So being at over 2,000 at this time of year, it's one of those where we've got a lot of vulnerable kids that are there and ready and need. One of the other pieces that Ms. Leffler does is she does that verification of homelessness, because there are scholarships and grants available as they move into eligible for the college sector. So we've worked really hard on that postgraduate services for students. Once they leave our county, they're not just gone. We continue to make that verification in order to assist with getting those the kids what they need for their continuing education.
That's true. We have kids who come back to us every year after they've graduated They still need some kind of documentation for their federal financial aid to get the Pell Grant, the FAFSA. For our unaccompanied homeless youth, I forgot to mention this, we also verify in their senior year of high school when they're graduating that they are a unaccompanied homeless youth for the purposes of federal financial aid. And not only do we inform them of their status, but they also receive a verification letter that they can take with them to the college or university financial aid office so that they do get that Pell Grant. Because we know with a lot of our UHY kids, those relationships with their parents are severed. They truly are independent for all intents and purposes. And without that letter, colleges don't tend to believe students. That's just the reality. And that really is critical in them getting financial aid. And what we are finding as time goes by is getting we can verify them for their first year of college, but their second year is when the colleges then start wanting outside verification of their homeless status. And sometimes they're still in a homeless situation and sometimes they're not. And many times colleges are hesitant to verify homelessness themselves. They want either an emergency shelter to provide a letter. The only way I can provide it after they've left us is if we haven't happened to stay in contact with this student. If they're not in contact with us and I haven't heard from them in over a year and I have no idea what they're doing, I really can't provide a letter. But the state has a new template now where they can sign a homeless affidavit and we can send in a letter requesting that they're once again seen as an independent student to keep their financial aid going so that they can, graduate with a degree. I think it's one of the cruelest things going that they might get financial aid their first year in college, but the second year they can't verify their status any longer, and then they can't even apply for it, or they can't even receive a Pell Grant. So anyway, that's just my soapbox, so I'm going to stop talking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. There being no unfinished business, moving on to the next item, new business. As this item was removed from the agenda, the board will move on to board member comments, reports, and updates. Does anyone on the board wish to speak? I have a few things I want to say. So I want to start with Mr. Campbell. Just thank you so much for coming. I just think it's important for the community to receive updates from our schools or from the schools that service our kids so that they're able to hear what goes on in the schools and what goes on in the community. And also even for elementary age kids, like what there's to look forward to, in high school. So I really appreciated the presentation and just being able to understand the school a little more. I've lived here a couple of years, but I don't really know what happened. So it's always nice to hear. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. And then I wanted to give an update on the Education and Youth Advisory Board school supply drive that we initiated back right before school started, early August, late July. So just our communities alone in the city of Westlake, we were able to collect 316 items. It was about 310 items total. Most of those items are big items. They were backpacks, they were headphones, toilet papers, pencils, notebooks. I mean, just like a lot of glue sticks, like just a ton of things, that we, things for the community. And we were able to split that up. It being like our first, drive, from our board, we were able to split that up between the 5 schools. So Seminole Ridge, Golden Girls, and Osceola Creek, which are the 3 schools that are Westlake schools. And then also to Loxahatchee Groves and Acreage Pines Elementary, because they are choice program schools. So kids in our community do attend those schools as well. I'm hoping that in the future that we're able to collect more items, but it being that the year started, it was a little chaotic this year. It was a bit different, and everyone was kind of just, everything kind of started quickly, that we were able to do a collection in just like 2 weeks and really just get so much support from the community, and then be able to deliver those things out. So I hope that grows as our city gets bigger as well. And then the other item I wanted to just chat about was just in thinking about McKinney-Vento too, and our kids, and knowing that there's so many kids in our community that there are kids in the community I'm certain we don't know about, or that may need support that just aren't, coming up to us and saying they need help, or parents that are just, they don't want to, approach the schools, that maybe it would be a good idea to maybe going from the school supply drive, maybe doing another drive within the city or with our community for like the holidays, whether it's, food, I think would probably be the most important, or anything like that, that maybe we could give back and do that. So those are just a few things.
And this would be for the students that are identified as Mckinney-Vento students?
I wouldn't say Mckinney, but I would say, I mean, I'm sure those kids would come up specifically, like, in the schools, if we approach the counselors, those are going to be some of the kids that we support.
Okay.
But there are kids, I mean, in the community that are just, they're not necessarily Mckinney-Vento's children, but we know that they're children that
The family.
the family's struggling, or, there are things happening, and we want to be able to give back.
I like it.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Chair,
Yes.
if I can just add a few things, if I may.
Yes.
Given that you mentioned about the holidays and possibly doing something that time of the year, I want you all just to keep in mind that we want to determine our frequency of meetings. Keep in mind that we have holidays coming up. They'll be right around the corner. So I don't want us to be put in a position like we were for back to school.
Mhm.
So if there's some initiatives that you all want to take on, now would be a good time to start thinking about them. Think about the next meeting we'd like to have, and then we can start discussing that. So it'll give you plenty of time to take on, put together, reach out to the community, make those partnerships that we talk, Toys for Tots, for example, if you want to have a box somewhere. I know we don't have a typical city hall where we have a
Where they can
influx
deliver.
of community coming in, but you all do have your community center where if you wanted to partnership with them, and that's just an idea. But I would like you all just to take some time to think of that. And then keep in mind that we want to have a meeting that would coincide with that so you can properly prepare and we can properly notice and advertise for the board.
That's a good idea. Our center, the adventure park, is where we have the collection box for the supply drive, and that was, it was perfect. As long as we're able to coordinate with them, we could even leave a box. I know that I was picking it up every few days because it wasn't a big enough box. But that was planning. I think that would be important. So if we're looking at October, I would say it's probably going to be best to meet at the end of October, so that when we meet in November, that's set, that's already
In place.
able to we have something in place and we're able to collect for the holidays. Does the October 28th sound okay to everybody?
No, we can't have it
No. We could even do the week before on the 21st. And just kind of gather some updates or maybe come up with some ideas on how we want to proceed, and I can talk to members of the community and see how we want to go.
Are you talking a food drive or are you talking?
food drive.
Well, I think, well, being that we have November and December, you have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have other holidays that may be of interest. And again, like I said, I don't want you all to get caught because I know you guys have your
Right.
holidays,
The
you
reason
want
I
your
asked-
holidays.
Yeah, the reason I asked is if we meet on mid to late October, talking food drive, we don't know, Thanksgiving jumps up on you real quick, but just a couple weeks and then you're here. So in order to organize that and have that fully accomplished, it'd be a little bit more tough. But if we meet in October to organize toy drive
We'll have
through
enough time.
Thanksgiving and into December, that would probably just take on one right now. Or we could double down, we'll take toys, we'll take food because the holidays are holidays, but maybe a bit more related to.
A theme of a
to
specific
something like that.
holiday.
It's not trying to throw it all together once it's the same, but.
I agree. And you know what? We can call it even like a holiday, not necessarily just a holiday drive, and then we can do what we need to do within November, and then it's not, like we could, if we do a holiday drive, it might give us an opportunity to do more with it, either with one or both holidays.
I would encourage you to at least identify so that we can properly, you know,
I would,
let the public know what you're willing to accept. And then that's okay. What community partners you want to partnership with, because you want to clearly identify where they're going.
Yeah, when is Medusa open?
I don't know.
Or something, but I took me now.
Year. But that's gonna be dependent on a lot of things, obviously.
Yeah,
but I do agree, I think we should, kind of focus on one holiday. And, put all of our energies that way we can identify the holiday and the community is driven towards that one occasion, whether it be for toys or for food, for family, we should identify one of the two.
Should we do then meet in October to then address maybe December holidays, just so that it gives us more time to collect more, so that
Yes.
we're not in a pinch?
Yes, and we have to also
Yeah.
consider the family and their donations and.
I mean, there are other programs out there that donate and things that just would be nice to do something, so maybe we just focus on.
so to clarify for the record, so let's set our meeting date first.
Okay,
So are we on the 21st or the 28th?
the 21st.
21st? And the plan for doing something for the holidays will be for in anticipation of December holidays.
Yes, ma'am. And
Do you want to get, I'm sorry, Jim.
Go ahead.
Would you like to come back with some community partners that you'd like to possibly engage with and where you would like to see these toys or food pieces
Yeah,
go to?
Yeah, I think that'd be a
Okay.
good conversation for next.
Okay, I'll make sure that's on the agenda.
And I did want to add one more comment if I can, that I forgot to address. And that was Alan Poston is the director of marketing for Wellington Regional Hospital. And we've been back and forth for the past month and a half, just trying to get information, just trying to see how they could best support our schools and really our staff, our teachers, just to give the teachers a thank you for just the last year, really just everything in general, and really giving something back. So I did reach out to schools in the area, to principals in the area, and they were able to give us some numbers on like staff numbers and teachers. So I'm working with him, so I would hope by the next meeting that I have an update on something we've decided on, a way we're going to try to get back to the community, to the teachers in our the 5 schools that we support. So.
If there's one other item I'd like to mention for the board is we may want to start thinking of a strategic plan of how you want to see the board continue to progress. I know we've been taking our time and trying to get our feet wet, but if you want to also set up a plan where we can start going over some ideas of what you see for the next year, and that'll also kind of help us determine what events we want to get involved in, what our community partners will look like. I know we've had great presentations, see how we can partnership with some of these good presenters that we've met with. So if you direct me how you want to proceed, we can have a plan for the upcoming year. I mentioned that we will, I said it was January, but it's actually April where we will be changing seats, reorganization of the chair and vice chair. So give that some thought too, whoever wants to be the next chair and set forth some initiatives for the board would be helpful, so that we can start filling up our agenda and really making an impact for Westlake.
And we can talk about that at the next, just
So
think about that. And
I'll put that on the agenda as well for October. You'll come back with some good ideas for me. Thank you.
Any other comments? There being no further business comments or discussion, this meeting is adjourned at 7:46 p.m. Thanks.